Farm NBA DFS show with Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. Tuesday, 5 games on the slate, half the slate on a back-to-back. Should be a fun one there. See who gets ruled in, who gets ruled out, James, as we come off of a 13-gamer.
Yeah, big 13-gamer on Monday, followed up by a solid 5-gamer on Tuesday. Thankfully, Tuesday will not have nearly as much news. Well, actually, they're all back. Everyone's on a back-to-back. So maybe we'll have
it may, but the amount of late-breaking news we had on Monday, guys out of the clouds being ruled out all day long. We had Middleton, top play, favorite play, boom, ruled out. 30 minutes for roster lock, all of a sudden, Tim Hardaway Jr., questionable to play. I mean, it's been a wild day for the Monday slate. Hopefully, we have better luck on Tuesday for sure.
Yeah, Tuesday slate does look pretty decent. Lakers, Dallas, 235 total, 232 in the Golden State Phoenix game. Returning Bradley Beal in that game for Phoenix. He is off the injury report. This could be the first game that they're going to have the big three playing together. And then Kings, 232 total, 232.5 in LA. Clippers 4.5 point favorite. So 3 totals over 230. We have a 215 in Denver, Chicago, and a 224.5 in Cleveland, Boston. So should be an interesting slate overall.
Yeah, agree with you there 100%. Again, so we'll see who ends up playing with the back-to-back here, but obviously Luka Doncic at 11-8, Nikola Jokic 11-9. Both of those guys here second legs of their back-to-back, but they're your top price guys. Devin Booker here with a returning Bradley Beal. To note for Phoenix in this one, Bradley Beal will be active for this game. Jason Tatum under 10K, AD under 10K, LeBron James under 10K here. So some top price guys to go over at the point guard position. Luka, Fox, Curry at $9,500. I think Chris Paul is expected to play in that game. How are we feeling about the point guard position?
I mean, definitely have to like Luka if there's no Kyrie, which no timetable to return suggests there won't be. So as long as Luka's playing the second leg of a back-to-back, he's firmly in play. 10-4 Booker definitely doesn't look as good with Bradley Beal returning, with the potential that Kevin Durant returns. If it's just one of them and it's Bradley Beal, because Beal is off the injury report, I'm perfectly fine getting to Devin Booker if there's no Durant. Like if there's no Kevin Durant, I would be okay getting to 10-4 Booker. I think there's going to probably be a limit on Beal. I know he was full capacity in practice and stuff, but they didn't really monitor his minutes upon returning and then instantly re-aggravated his back injury. So I'd assume we're going to get Bradley Beal capped. So if there's no Kevin Durant, I'm okay getting to Devin Booker. Fox on a back-to-back, he has had really good back-to-back stints for them. One of the back-to-backs came against New Orleans. That was really tough, but another one came against the Clippers. So if you want to play De'Aaron Fox in this spot, 9,600 is a pretty good price. Decent matchup. The Clippers play really slow. Curry, 95. Did have the ceiling-ish game against OKC, but the 40 minutes, there was overtime in that game, if I'm not mistaken, again.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, he was a pretty ugly start. He was snowflaking in that game for a long time.
But with the returning Chris Paul, back to unlikely peripheral stats for Steph Curry. And at 9,500, it's just kind of a pass for me. So, he's probably the last for me amongst the 9K tier.
Sure. Mid-tier range, Garland getting a price bump up at 83. James Harden at $7,800 here. Kobe White on the back-to-back at 72. And then, what do we do with Bradley Beal?
I assume he's limited.
$900. I mean,
you have to assume he's limited because he came back with the back injury and then just re-aggravated the back again. Right? So
24 minutes in that first game, then he went right to 32 and 30. Yeah, he probably gets limited, like you're saying. I don't disagree with you there. Something to watch, though. They didn't discount him too much. Sometimes you see DraftKings and these guys have long layoffs. like discount them. He's just been chilling at the same price this whole time.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty hard to lower Bradley Beal's price any further than 69.
Yeah, I would never put anything past.
Yeah, true.
So thoughts on like Harden, White, Jamal Murray maybe here. They'll be on a back-to-back. He may sit.
Yeah, that seems like a good bet. If I were to guess any Denver guys sitting, it would be Murray on a back-to-back. That would obviously put other guys in play. Harden's fine. Murray, if he plays, he's fine against the Bulls. Kobe White, tough spot against that game is that game is a nightmare. I think one with the 215 total. Yeah, 215 total. So probably gonna pass on Kobe White at 72.
Okay. Guys under 7K, we get the Boston guards here. It was a Derrick White night the other day. Again, if you can figure it out, kudos to you. But Derrick White, man, 42, 33, 41, 37, 49. The last 5 games for him here. Drew Holiday still had 37 in that game, but we've talked about it a lot when it comes to like the boom bust upside of Boston here. Like, yeah, you can count on JT and Porzingis and whatnot. But when you're looking at Jaylen Brown, you're looking at Derrick White, you're looking at Drew Holiday, it feels like more often than not, it's Derrick White putting up the more consistent fantasy stats. We agree that Jaylen Brown has the highest ceiling, I think. Yep. But, Derrick White at $6,400, any interest here?
Yeah, I mean, he's just, I think, the best accruing stats everywhere. I know Drew Holiday's good at it as well, but like White hit 6 threes in that game. Like he does a little bit of everything. That trade is still gonna stand the test of time as like one of the best made in recent memory.
Is Langford even in the league anymore? Like,
I don't think so. We'll probably see him in April. May. We'll probably see him at the end of the year at some point. But I love Derrick White.
He's on the Salt Lake Stars. Plays for Utah's G League team. So,
and if you're on the G League team for Utah, there's something to be said there. So yeah, I'm perfectly fine. I think I lean Derrick White of the two. He's cheaper. They both have the same eligibility, but White has been flat out better.
Agreed. Next here, D'Angelo Russell, 62. Dante Exum with the point guard small forward eligibility. We'll have to seek the status of Malik Monk here. Podzinski, maybe not with Paul coming back. What are your thoughts on the value point guards?
I mean, you could probably throw Reggie Jackson in there as well. If Murray sits. D'Lo actually played 32 minutes in the Indiana game. It's good to see because he does not close games very often. He was pretty good in that game. 31 fantasy points. 6,200 is a pretty good price. I would play only in tournaments because I still don't think in competitive games he closes because he's just the worst defender they have. And they can go a lot of different ways, a lot of different length with everyone healthy. So D'Lo is really it. I don't necessarily see much else that I'd have any interest in unless somebody else was ruled out on a back-to-back. Truthfully, I don't see a single name under D'Angelo Russell. Monk is, if he plays, would be fine. Exum if Luka were ruled out.
Gets ruled out, obviously, right? That would change things here. So, shooting guard position, Devin Booker 10-4, as we've talked about there. Donnie Mitch at $9,200 going up against Boston. Paul George at $8,400 back-to-back against Sacramento. We got Jaylen Brown under 8K. Now, this could be a short slate price, possibly. Or they're just looking at, sometimes we get an overreaction, 27-36, and the algos kind of dump them down. I don't mind the $7,900 Jaylen Brown.
I think that's a fantastic price. I feel uncomfortable paying more than 8K for Jaylen Brown, given what this team is, but under 8K, all systems go.
Agreed. Again, I know it's only $100, but in the the scheme of things there, just a little bit more potential for upside on that. So I don't mind playing any of these guys. Again, if you want to go Mitchell, George, or Brown, they're all certainly fine here. Eric Gordon, I know Grayson Allen, I think it's already out. He is. So you'll have Eric Gordon here. Again, price moving up with the Bradley Beal returning, but we don't know if Kevin Durant's going to be in or not. At 66, Max Strus at 64. THJ, again, we'll see what happens. He was questionable for the Dallas game on Monday. Austin Reeves obviously smoked out during that championship game for the in-season tournament. 28 actual against the Pacers. So shooting guard obviously has some guys because that dual positional shooting guard, small forward element.
And Reeves he had the flu in that game.
Supposedly, yeah.
So good for, I guess, Austin Reeves that he had his Michael Jordan flu game in the in-season tournament final, huh?
You saw the Lakers going to be hanging a banner, right?
I did see. Yep, they are hanging a banner. They now have one more than the Boston Celtics. Thoughts, John?
You know what? Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to play Austin Reeves, this mid tier is, I would say, pretty meh.
Yeah.
I do like 5,800 for Reeves. I will say that. It's just 28 minutes does really feel like the ceiling since he moved to the bench. He doesn't seem like he's going to be a 30-minute guy anymore, but especially with the depth they have. If Monk doesn't play, Kevin Huerter, 57. If guys sit out, KCP, 56. Norm, 52, but he is very low floor for 5,200. Another position where I don't love the value.
I'm with you there. Again, small slates. You got to kind of get guys get ruled out. Getting some of these other guys we had value getting moved up. I mean, Moody up to 5K now, right? Kind of tough even with Paul coming back. So
yes, Reddish, 44.
Yeah,
played 33 minutes in that game, and
he's just out there, right? Like
Hauser's
at 43. Could also probably give him a look.
Yep, shooting guard eligibility now for Sam Hauser.
True, it's a good point. I didn't even really put those two together there. Peter's acting a little slow. Wanted to pull up the recent game logs here on our guy, but he probably hit like 5 threes last time. So, he missed them all actually. 0 for 5. 0 for 5 against the Knicks. There you go. Prior to that, though, was on a heater. So if you want to run out there against Cleveland, you can. Small forward. You got Tatum, LeBron, both under 10K still.
Tatum and LeBron both under 10K, both firmly in play. LeBron obviously deferred to the Anthony Davis show in the in-season tournament final, but this is a spot I'd be more than willing to go back to LeBron. Catching
41
Dallas.
and 20, good for
41 and 20 might be pretty good. LeBron had a good game against Dallas previously. They're the rested team since Dallas will be on the second leg of a back-to-back here. Obviously, would worry a little bit if we found out that Luka doesn't play on the second leg of a back-to-back, because I just don't know how competitive Dallas would be in that scenario. But they are home. If LeBron 9,700 fits your build, by all means. And first time all year, Tatum's been under 10K for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Price bump for MPJ. He was 7K on the big slate, $7,600 now. Quiet 8K, DeRozan 82. And a lot of guys we've already discussed. I guess, any different plays down here that you'd have some interest in? Like run back to Derrick Jones. I don't know.
I mean, I like the minutes for Wiggins against OKC, but he's just been so bad. Pat Willis,
right? It's so weird that he's just like falling apart here.
Well, they talked about how he's not in shape. Came into the year not in shape, which is a terrible look. Especially when he missed half the year last year. 5,600. Derrick Jones for sure would be the guy I'd go back to. Kuminga was so good in that OKC game, but like now Golden State's healthy. I just don't understand what they're doing. Like every time you play Kuminga, he goes and does something good, and you're like, well, he was a lotto pick, 4th overall. What are we doing, right? Like, why do we not play it? Like Steve Kerr cannot figure out his rotations, so you can't really get to a 5,200 Kuminga. Harry Barnes is boring. Norm, nah. Phoenix as a nightmare.
Harry Barnes is boring, but on a 5-game slate, you could use some boring as a baseline.
Sure. It's boring is fine on a 5-game slate.
They bumped up Niang, probably no good there.
Yeah.
And then I guess if somebody starts for Durant, you might have some interest, whether it be a Kogi or KBD.
Yep.
Kogi got the 28 minutes, did absolutely nothing with them.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on all of them. They're all sucky.
Okay.
Sucky fantasy producers. I know Nasser Little is concussed and stuff, but
sure.
We'll find something. We'll find something else. We could
power forward. Do you have Anthony Davis here at $9,800?
Also power forward.
Do you get playoff Anthony Davis, or do you get power forward center? No kidding, right? Do you get playoff version of Anthony Davis, or do you get a regular season version of Anthony Davis here?
I mean, either would be fine because he's under 10. He's under 10K. Regular season Anthony Davis has been pretty good himself. So I will take either. Obviously, the former version is the better version, but you could get to Davis in
9,500 for KD is a good deal.
It is a good deal. I mean, that's obvious. It's funny you see that because like 95, and then you look at Booker, it's like no discount whatsoever.
Right.
10-4 despite Bradley Beal being back. Find that a little interesting for sure.
Agreed. Porzingis came back, looked good. Down here at $7,500, played 29 minutes, 21, 3, 1, and 2 there against the Knicks. No limitations for him. They had him just go out there. He gets Cleveland here. On a slate like 5 games, I'm fine going the Porzingis route here.
Yeah, I mean, if the price is going to continue to drop, I'm perfectly fine getting this here. I don't love the peripheral stats, truthfully, but he does have, I mean, he's flash 6 block upside, so there's that too.
Yeah, for sure. Other guys we haven't discussed, Draymond here at 69, Aaron Gordon, Keegan Murray.
Draymond was really good again. You gave him a shout. 39 fantasy points once again, 35 minutes, 30 in regulation.
I mean, the assist numbers are crazy. It's just did Chris Paul come back and knock these down?
Probably a little. Still in the starting lineup, Draymond's still going to probably everything's going to flow through him. So if you want to play Draymond, by all means. No interest in Aaron Gordon, 68 with this team fully healthy. Someone would have to be out, or 2 people would have to be out to get there. Keegan continues to just take a big step back after last year and a good start to the year.
Yeah.
And then
there's nothing down there. I was just clicking around to see if anybody's playing. There's really nothing.
I mean, Dean Wade's going to start. If Malik Monk were to miss, Vezenkov could be someone who sees extra run just because he spaces the floor so well. But none of it is super I need to get this player into my builds.
Center position. You can obviously play Anthony Davis here, but you have Nikola Jokic at 11.9, Sabonis here at 9.5, Vucevic at 8K on the opposite side of the Joker matchup here. A lot of guys we've discussed already. I mean, I guess it all depends on where you want to go. There's not really any value centers on this slate. I'm sure some people will be throwing some darts at Daniel Tice on a 5-game slate, but it feels like a spend up spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested in Jokic. I'm definitely interested in Sabonis too. He didn't have a good matchup against Zubac the first time they met up, but that's a pretty good matchup for centers we've seen in years past. So I'm definitely interested there. You can really only play Nurkic at this price if Durant doesn't play. Because there's you'll get we assumed there's a Beal limitation, so Nurkic will be the second option at times. But if Durant plays, no thanks. Zubac is priced that way because Daniel Tice was out and he goes for 40. He plays 42 minutes. Daniel Tice back, he's going to cut into that time drastically. So 6,200 for Zubac, didn't play 30 minutes in that game. If Derek Lively's been good for Dallas lately. He has a pretty high ceiling.
Yeah, I just worry about them. I worry about him against Anthony Davis.
Yeah, that's a concern for sure. And that's
it, right?
I mean, Vanderbilt is playing 15 minutes. Can't score the basketball. They use him to play defense.
They still played Horford 27 minutes there with Zinger playing 29.
Yeah. I mean,
again, I think Tice is probably the value.
That's probably the value. Yeah.
All right, let's build a lineup. Are we going? What are we doing?
We're gonna have to. We have to. Yeah, I think we have to until we have more definitive data. What else? How can we comfortably
build? Yeah. What are we doing here? Reeves, I guess maybe.
Yeah, Dallas on a back-to-back for sure. That's a good spot. Probably just avoiding Denver, Chicago at all costs, if at all possible.
If at all possible, yeah.
If possible, that game crossed off the old list.
Derrick Jones Jr. probably still feels good. 54.
Yep.
Do you plug in Anthony Davis at center? Because 56.
Yeah, it's a good price. And if we needed value, we could plug him into power forward too and play Tice or something.
I mean, we might just play Tice at. Let's do that. Let's do Tice here. Let's do AD at forward. It's 57 for a guard and a util. Exum, I guess. And I don't know. Porter?
Yeah, Porter's fine. We don't know the status. We don't know the status of Monk, but
I mean, we got a fairly decent, fair and balanced build here. Just trying to see if there'd be even anybody like worth going up for, but there really isn't. You move off of Anthony Davis to go to like Kawhi or something, but they're on back to back. So let's plug in Hoarder here, and I guess we'll see what the injury news breaks out. We got a decent little fair and balanced lineup built around an Anthony Davis spend up though. Derrick White, Austin Reeves, Derrick Jones Jr., Draymond Green, Daniel Tice, Dante Exum, Anthony Davis, and Kevin Hoarder. Little Dallas, LA stack, 2 Dallas, 2 LA there. Not bad for 5 games here. We'll have the playbook out for everybody. If you have any questions, you can certainly find James and I in that Discord and on Twitter. Be sure to reach out to us there. Enjoy the 5-game slate, everybody, and we'll be live 5 o'clock Eastern with all the latest news and updates. We'll talk to you then.